Okay, good. Well, welcome everyone. Nice to see you. Why don't we just quickly go around? I know other people are joining, but just do quick intros to make sure everybody knows everybody. I think everybody might know everybody, but not sure. So Doris, you want to go first? I'm Michael Dimmick, Roots of Change.
Doris Meyer, Roots of Change too, communications specialist. Coco?
Coco Sanabria, Roots of Change, research and project manager. Regina, you want to go next?
Sure. Regina Hanna, from Etna, California. I have Crown H Cattle Ranch, and I raise Belted Galway beef.
Yes, which is quite good. I just had one of their steaks on Sunday. Tim.
Good afternoon, Tim Gallarno with the Center for Agroecology, and I'm our Food Systems Program Manager and get to support some UC-wide supply chain sourcing projects and also sit on the Southwest Regional Food Business Center management team.
Yeah, you've been real
Glad to
helpful.
be here with you all.
Been helpful with our beef work. Thank you.
Yeah.
Pelayo, you want to go next?
Sure. Pelayo Alvarez, California Director of Audubon's Conservation Ranching Program based in Sacramento.
Shanae?
Hey everybody, my name is Shanae Rizvi. I'm also a part of the Audubon Conservation Ranching Crew. I'm the Senior Outreach Coordinator, and I'm based in Sacramento as well.
And you guys had a great event out there at Bobcat Ranch. Was that last month?
Yeah, months are going too fast.
Yes, flies by. Kathy?
Hey everyone, Kathy Webster, Tomcat Ranch. I manage our Left Coast grass-fed beef, and I'm the food advocacy manager here.
Thank you, and big ally. Catherine?
Hi, sorry, I go by Katie, so I hesitated there for a second. No, you're fine. It says Catherine. You're right. My name is Katie Conley. I am with Conley Ranch in San Joaquin and Alameda counties, and we have a grass-fed Angus, Black Angus beef program.
Great. Nice to meet you. Claire?
Hey y'all. Sorry I'm gonna be mostly off camera because my computer is fighting me whenever it's on. But my name's Claire. I'm the Farm to School and Institution Manager at the Community Alliance of Family Farmers. We've been involved with beef to institution work for the past few years, and also working with Tim on some UC-wide system stuff.
Yes, great ally. Vince, you're up. I know you're doing multiple things. If you can't talk, we'll understand.
Yeah, no, I'll say hi. Hi guys, Vince Trotter with UC Cooperative Extension in Marin County. I'm our Sustainable Ag Coordinator and Agricultural Ombuds. So I work with ranchers, but also specialty crop growers, all of our commercial ag folks. And yeah, as Michael said, I got a few things going on around me, so I'm just staying off camera. But I'm here and I'm listening.
Right on. Vince was instrumental in our original report that we did years ago now, 5 years ago now, or 4 years ago now on meat systems. He was our best editor. Kristen, you there? Yeah.
Hi, my name's Kristen, and I'm with Merton Ranch. I'm a producer. We run Angus Preferred Cross east of Sacramento.
Great. Good. Are you up in the foothills there?
Just west of the foothills. So if you're familiar with that part of the world, just a little bit west of Jackson, Sutter Creek area.
Yeah, okay, good. Nice. Glad to have you. So I think that's everybody. Doris, we have just to cover, we're going to go over a few things. I think we should start with update on the UC contract because that's very short. We don't have that much of an update. We know that the first contract is out. We know that there is beef flowing. I don't know where from. We don't have many details, but you might, Tim. Do you know more?
I could sprinkle a little something in. We did bring Creamco into Fremont Test Kitchen a week and a half ago with chefs from across the UC. And they were demoing different cuts, pork and beef primarily, but chicken and lamb as well. And so it's a two-part series through our Global Climate Leadership Council project. We're kind of covering the travel to get all the culinary teams together. So we're just not talking with the directors, but the executive chefs and the teams doing the menu design. So we began our first in-person taste kitchen, and we even, I think, inspired Cisco to better understand what's going on with California regenerative and organic beef and pork in our ranchers. And so I think that was a really good education space there. We'll be doing another convening in October at UCLA's Teaching Kitchen and Test Kitchen.
Good.
We're
Good.
going to bring in some CIA chefs as well and have a sustainability track and a plant forward track to show with regenerative and grass-fed meats and sustainability design in higher ed and our health centers approaches that are working, as well as plant forward with menus of change. So we're trying to kind of kick off before the summer goes in full effect and then bring people back together in Southern California in the fall. And Claire is part of a TA team, and we're attending to needs from the health centers and the campuses with their sourcing and work. There's another holy grail thing off of the animal side, the dairy side with mozzarella. And so we're exploring organic mozzarella from Romiano, which has a really nice scaling effect and impact. So we're really kind of thinking about not just the whole animal, but our animals in general too on the dairy side. So yeah, there's a lot in motion. We're going to have a system-wide meeting in August. Michael will shoot a note out to back at the Hay Barn at UCSC, where we're going to kind of look at this last year, and we're building more into the fall with more food systems engagement and supply chain work through December. So yeah.
That's great. And have you, I know that, they have the contract up with Creamco. They were talking about a second contract going out more, a second, not a contract, a bid, a request for bids. Did that ever happen?
No, Maryland just got out our produce and our dairy, which Claire worked on as well.
Yeah, I think produce closes tomorrow. So we should have the results soonish about who gets awarded the produce bid.
Okay, good. And then do you think that there's going to be any more requests for proposals, bids on meat in the future?
There could be. I know rolling out that Creamco process and orienting the chefs have taken time since our gathering in Sacramento when you all brought folks together. So we've been working on that piece and building the literacy and understanding and Creamco learning about some of the needs of the sites and dimensions and cuts, and as they think about their whole animal sourcing as well.
Okay. So it just takes time. It's a big system. I know, and I know that I'm really glad you're doing UCLA because I know UCLA is buying most of their regenerative meat from Australia. So
no,
good that
yes,
you're
yeah,
doing
we're
it
bringing
down
it right
there.
to them. We're bringing the beef right to UCLA.
Good.
And
Okay.
yeah, hopefully, Michael, we can ideate and strategize on that future RFP opportunity. We're also, for the first time, really looking at our health centers and re-envisioning whether the UC could operate its own GPO in terms of to really have more influence on the food side. So I think there's some really good systems conversations happening with Paul and the team too. So we'll have more to chat about, but just wanted to hop in, share some updates. The chefs love testing and cooking with the product, and it gave them a better sense of placing their orders, being able to work with it directly and not just kind of working off the specs. So
Good. That's great. Good work. So update on AB 411, which is the Cattle Act, which is Roots of Change is a co-sponsor with the cattlemen in the state of California, the California Cattlemen's Association. That bill is about allowing ranchers to compost on their properties their carcasses of cattle that have died. It's currently illegal for crazy reasons I never really understood. But so for many years, people have wanted to get this fixed. There's been resistance from the rendering companies, the rendering industry, but I think we are on the way. I just checked in the status. It made it through the Assembly. It's in the Senate. It's being heard by the Ag Committee and the Environmental Quality Committee. There's only a little opposition from 2 rendering associations. There's a long list of supporters. So I'm hopeful that it's going to pass. It's never had a better chance to pass, and it looks pretty good. And it will allow ranchers to, and this becomes really important if there's a fire or some sort of an outbreak of a disease that knocks out a lot of animals at one time. That it really came up again because of the fire's destruction of herds in the past and the inability for the ranchers to compost them, which is a lost opportunity to increase the health of the soil. So there are certainly standards that go with it, ways that it has to be done that are best management practices developed by both environmental groups and universities. So it's a really good bill. We worked hard on it with the cattlemen. They did a great job leading the way. We've got a lot of support from other groups, so we're hopeful it's going to pass. So that's any questions on that? If not, I can move on to GRASS real quick. This is good news. You will remember that the GRASS project that we were working on, national project that was the funded by the Climate Smart Commodities Partnership Project, got canceled. We were our partners in that, the lead partner in that, Other Half Processing out of Minnesota, contacted us maybe 3 weeks ago and said, hey, USDA reached out. They want us to reapply. So we've reapplied, and the good news is it won't be 50-50 money flowing because we had to eliminate all the science stuff basically. And we have a lot more money. 65% of the money has to go to producers. So we're gonna have a ton of money to give away. And I know, Regina, you received one of those grants. Did you ever get paid? You're on mute.
Like the Wolf's Neck Center.
Yes. Yeah.
I did get paid some of it, but it was canceled.
So you didn't get the other half?
No,
Yeah. Sorry about that.
that's okay.
This will be money to pay for three things. Well, the way it was structured before, and they're going to try and repeat, it will pay for certifications. It will pay for any participation in any kind of research that's done. I don't know if the research piece will survive. If it doesn't, that money will be rolled over into payments for premiums for hides, things like that. So, and it will set you up with processors and will give money to processors to process the hides. So Regina, I know you have that processor out in the west of you. It would be the kind of thing where that processor could get a grant to get the technology to create the hides they're looking for, to hold the hides, preserve the hides in the way they need them. Because these are for markets that are in Europe and the United States that are using them for fashion and things like that. And also byproducts for animals, chews and things like that, and also pharmaceuticals. So anyway, we'll know probably in a month. Could be USDA, could be 2 months. But if we, California is going to be one of the three focus areas. It was a national project. I think they're shrinking it down a little bit. So California will be a major focus. And that's why we're being brought back onto the team. So we'll be able to notify all the different producers in the network of the opportunities. So that's the update on GRASS. Now we'll move to the main event unless there's any questions. Okay, Coco.
There's one question in the chat as I pull up my
Oh,
screen.
I didn't see it. I'm sorry. What does it say?
From Kathy, have you talked to North Bay butchers? They're giving us our hides back.
They're giving you your hides back. What does that mean, Kathy?
We asked for the hides and they're giving us the hides back. So we're salting them ourselves. So they did salt one batch.
Okay. Have you been in touch with the guys from Other Half Processing?
No, we're doing all the tanning ourselves.
Are you going to use them yourselves? You're going to do added value-added products?
We're just kind of experimenting with them. A lot of the team, because we have goats too, wanted to learn how to do it, and we're not quite sure what we're going to do next.
Okay, good. Well, if you ever need any, assistance from those guys, let us know. And if you want any support in trying to reach them, because they're looking for hides. So, okay, good.
I'm just curious how are the hides getting back to them? Because I know when we had Barcy, that was a challenge.
Yeah, so the way they do it is they work with specific processors, right? Because they have to have an efficient route because they do send out trucks to do it. So they really try and get everybody to use the same processors, which can also help get you into processing, although that's not a problem now. It was in the past, so that they can efficiently pick those hides up. And there are one or two places in California that they're picking up. So when was the last time you worked with them?
With North Bay?
No, with when?
Oh, before Barcy closed up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We had a whole system of salting, and it was very functional, and everything was stored, and we couldn't figure out how to get them all to them.
That's too bad. Yeah, I mean, they can't do it for just a few hides, otherwise they lose money.
There was a lot of hides.
There was a lot of hides. Too bad. And whatever happened to those hides?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. So, any other questions? Would 411 allow for cattle composting on commercial compost sites? There is a provision around that. I'll send you the language of the bill, Vince. Okay. I think that's it. Okay. So, this is about the big Terra Madre event, 26 to 28 September. Just for context, this is a new event that builds off the Italian event that happens every other year. This is planned to be the off year. So last year, they had the big Terra Madre event in Italy that attracts hundreds of thousands of people. It's been going, I think they've done 10 editions, 12 editions. I've been to 5 of them, I think. It's a huge event. They want to recreate it here. They've been talking to Sacramento for a few years about it. Visit Sacramento, which is if anybody knows about the Sacramento Tourism Agency, which is called Visit Sacramento, it is one of the best in the country. They have put on the bridge dinner, if anybody of you have heard about that. Thousands of people come, and the Golden Bridge that goes into Sacramento has 2 lines of table. Thousands of people come. It's part of the Farm to Fork month-long celebration that happens in Sacramento. This weekend will be the capping event of that Farm to Fork celebration. And they've made a long-term commitment to it. So this is the first of I think it's 5 years they committed to. So three more of these events will take place. So they're pumping tons of money into it to get it going. They have a really good track record. We vetted this thing for a while before we decided to throw our hats in the ring. And we are going to sponsor the Regenerative Meat Pavilion for the event. We're actually talking to Audubon and some others about being co-sponsors of that pavilion. And in fact, Tomcat Ranch has come in as a co-sponsor on the event. So we have one co-sponsor already, and we appreciate that very much from Kathy and her crew and team. And so we're excited about it. We have actually 3 conversations coming up with different potential partners in this venture. It's a $100,000 investment on our part, Roots of Change. So we're trying to get co-sponsors to help us cover the costs, because we're trying to do a really good job. It's a 40 by 40 space. You want to go to the next slide? And we're looking to bring in both sponsors and vendors. So this is really talking about vendors today. If you want to talk to us about a sponsorship, we'd love to talk to you about that. But this is really for the vendors, because there are a few ways to play, and we're going to describe what those are. So I'm not going to read the slides. I hate reading the slides. You guys can read the slides. I'll just talk about the slides. So obviously why it matters, because we want to see, our mission is to promote regenerative ranching. We believe that is a key element of the idea of local food system reemergence in the state. And we can't do it alone. We have to have lots of partners. And we're really glad all of you have demonstrated your partnership in this kind of work. And so that's why we are hoping that you might find something interesting in this slide set that would move you, compel you, inspire you to participate. So I've talked a little bit about this. It's 3 days. It's going to be a lot of really interesting content. We're going to be, you know, I want to say cultivating, but the right word is, what does a museum do? It
Curate.
Curates. Thank you. I never can remember that
Sorry, I
word.
could not get my microphone unmuted for that.
Yeah, stay on the line. So yeah, we're going to be curating a lot of the content, particularly, well, all of the content basically for the regenerative meat section or for meat. But we will also be impacting the large event, because there's going to be producers from the Americas. So that includes Canada, Mexico, Latin America, the United States. There'll be producers coming from all over with many different crops and commodities. But we're going to be the center of the meat work. So as happens in Italy, there'll be tastings, lots of panels with details and information for both consumers and for producers. And there'll be obviously a lot of networking. We're going to actually host a reception or two on site and maybe off site. So we're going to be bringing policymakers, we're going to be bringing market makers. So there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff. Let's go to the next slide.
So there are expected 100,000 people to drop to 100,000 people to this event. That's
yes.
amazing.
Thank you. So what we want to do is feature the brands. There are large brands, there are little brands, there are emerging brands, there are mid-sized brands. Our goal is to create ways for all those different scales of brand to participate in this event. And it's an opportunity for people who are building a business to meet more people, particularly if they're doing not just farmers markets, but doing, like Regina, shipping product by mail in cold boxes, or and having ranch events. It's a great way to just reach people. We're going to have this 40 by 40 pavilion that is going to be set up to allow people to feature. I guess the next slide I can talk more about okay, good. So this is a very rough sketch of what we're going to have. Based on what we've experienced in Italy in the past, people are flowing through this event, consumers, producers, other people are coming through the media. And so you need space within the event for people to mill around. This is our 40 by 40 pavilion. We're going to have tables set up that we will basically make available for cost to participate at half days or full days. We're also going to have a demonstration kitchen. We're going to bring chefs in to do demonstrations with the products that are featured. And the rancher or the producer that is featured will be able to interact with the chef while they're cooking, maybe using the recipe from the farm or the ranch, or maybe partner with the chef to do something. We're also going to have a stage set up for presentations and for podcasting. We're going to do podcasts there, a series of podcasts that will be live in front of the audience, recorded and re-released later. So that's a general description of what you'll be seeing. There'll be a lot of chairs set up for people to watch. Rock will have a table. Actually, sponsor Tomcat would have a table. Our other co-sponsors could have tables, and then the people the brands that want to come in for days or half days will have space. Next. So the good thing is, based on the past events, has anybody been to these Sacramento events? Has anybody gone to those in the past? Tim, Vince, Kathy?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, Claire, what'd you think?
Are you talking about like the Tower Bridge dinner?
Tower Bridge event or the
Yeah.
Farm to Fork Festival?
Yeah, they're good fun. It's exciting. I think as with all these events, it's just nice to have people who care all in the same space. I think they do a good job of promoting it to the like general public too, especially the like Farm to Fork Festival. I feel like there's usually like a good amount of just like the general public, which is always nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. It is about the general public. That's their goal. Their goal is to grow this thing to 500,000 people coming every year. That's their goal, and so they're investing big money in the reach to the audience. And the audience, obviously they're going to reach far because there are people from the slow food movement coming from the East Coast, the Midwest, the South, all over the state of California, the Northwest. But so they're reaching out farther for their advertising than they ever have before. It's usually been basically the Sacramento metro market, but they're going to put a lot of money into the larger Bay Area metro market. And then these targeted places around the country. I know that Slow Food's bringing some producers from Italy, and I know that they're also bringing producers from Latin America and Canada. So that will be a draw for media as well. One of the big things about this, Roots of Change was a sponsor of the 2008 Slow Food Nation event in San Francisco, which was the first big event like this in the United States. It was 3 days, a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 80,000 people came to that event. It was an amazing event. Did anybody go to that? Tim, was that a great event?
It was, yeah. That time I was half at CASVAS and also working at CAF with Anya
Yeah,
in the
Anya
mix.
Purnell.
And we had our Real Food National Organizing and that big lunch event that was at Dolores Huerta Park. But it was really spaced out, even though, down by the harbor area too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was
impressive
great.
what they put together, and I'm curious how they're gonna. I use the convention center in Sacramento for other events. We have a big conference coming up in February there again every other year, and I'm always interested to see how they're gonna re-envision that large space with these pavilions and zones. And I hear they're even trying to explore what the protocol is around livestock. So
Yep, they are.
that'll be fascinating.
Yeah, we talked to them about that. Can we bring livestock in? And they said they'd like to, and they're working on it. We can't have live fire inside, but we're going to have induction ovens, and we're going to use steel cooking pans for preparing food. Cast iron, thank you. In the demo kitchen that we're going to have, that's going to have 2 burners, and they are. So 2 streets outside are going to be blocked off. They'll have some trucks on the outside and cooking demonstrations also on the outside, which we are going to try and be part of. And then they're also going to have a big stage area. If you've ever, the convention center, there's that street. I think is it 18th or 14th? What is it?
Oh, the cross streets are J and I think it's 15th.
Yeah. Okay, so 15th is blocked off. They're going to block 15th off. That's going to be an outdoor. And then behind the pavilion, so not on J, but the street behind it, there's a big kind of square area. That's going to be blocked off with a big, huge stage. So it's going to be basically 2 blocks outside and then on the inside. Now, as you know, that's a very big building. And what they're doing now is trying to figure out exactly how it's going to be laid out. We've been told that we're going to have a central place in that layout. And we're actually meeting with them, I think, in a couple of days to talk more about it based on the investment that we're making in the event. So anyway, this is the outreach slide. We're going to do, obviously, a lot of outreach through our digital media. We have 100 and whatever it is. Well, we added up the Slow Food, Roots of Change, Visit Sacramento, all the digital is over 1 million followers. So they're all going to see this. We're going to do obviously a lot of blogs, podcasts, all that stuff that we've talked about. We have 150,000 people that we reach every month through our own channels. Then there's a lot of amplification tactics. We're going to bring in brand leaders, I said, different people to speak that will attract media attention and the public to amplify anybody that's in that pavilion with us or next to that pavilion. Because what we're hoping is that we have a lot of people on the inside in those tables who have rented half a day or a full day. And then we hope to have some of the larger brands that have larger budgets that will be in booths next to us. We'll talk about that later. And then obviously, Visit Sacramento has a huge PR team. We have a PR team. We have actually some professional PR people who are working for us on who are going to work for us on this, that we worked with on Slow Food Nation in 2008. And that's going to be helpful. So we think there's going to be really good coverage of the event because nothing's been done like this in the US since then. There was tried in Denver a couple of times, but Denver wasn't the right market for it. So that's why it's been moved to California. Move to the next slide. So these are the packages for vendors. Question? Go ahead, Doris. Kelko, I thought you had something. Okay.
Michael, I do have a question.
Yeah.
For those producers who want to participate, how are you going to vet them? I mean, if this is going to be regenerative ranching, how are you going to make sure that, you know, the ranchers who participate are?
We're going to be talking to them, right? About what their practices are, what they're doing. Now, as we know, regenerative is a spectrum. And I think the goal is to provide people a pathway who have made a commitment to move in that direction to participate. So not everybody has to be doing everything. I think what we're trying to do is incentivize people to do more and to move down this path and develop markets with consumers who care deeply about where their meat comes from and how it's produced. So I would say that what you would call a conventional producer would not find themselves welcome to this environment, but I think someone who's on the regenerative path would be welcome to this environment. And one of the things we might do is ask each producer to talk about what they're, to have some sort of a description that they have at their table or their booth that describes what they're doing. So the ranchers that we've been dealing with over the last few years are all interested in regenerative. Some haven't made the commitment yet, but they've been following, but many of them have made commitments of different levels. And our goal is to incorporate as many of them as we can and who feel they want to be in. Now, we know that Audubon is on one end of that spectrum, and let's say Stemple or Richard's Regenerative are on one end of that, and they might set a standard, but I don't want to not include someone because they don't do everything.
Well, I agree, but what's the
cutoff?
What the process would be?
Yeah, Slow Food has a set of guidelines for each category of food, and meat's included in that, and we have to follow that.
Okay, great, perfect.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, yeah. So we think it's going to be an opportunity for everybody in the network. There'll be a lot of different producers there. We're talking next week. Actually, Will Harris is potentially coming out. Just a great opportunity for producers out here to meet with him, talk with him. Obviously, it gives everyone a chance. There'll be thousands of people flowing through this for you to hone your pitch if you're interested. And then you'll be part of this effort to actually build more momentum behind people's interest and commitment to regenerative meat. Let's go to the next one. Okay. So now we get down to the nitty gritty. And one thing I will say is we think these prices are totally right. There may be slight flexibility in them because we're meeting again with Visit Sacramento in the next week. I mean, we've had like an hour and a half of meetings on just these numbers. So I think we're very close, but they could change a little bit. So there are two levels for vendor packages to be within the pavilion. The first one is a half day, and there are two ways to play as a half day partner. So you get for $650, you see the list of things that you would get. It might be an 8-hour day or a 10-hour day. If it's an 8-hour day, you have 4 hours to get in, set up, pitch your products, sell products, or just sell your ranch, or sell a way for your people to buy your meat or sell your meat. You can do all of that there, but you have a 4-hour window at half day. And the basic thing is what you see on the left there. You can add to that package if you want to do a cooking demo. It just costs more money because we've got to bring in the chef, and it's costing us a lot of money to get the kitchen in. And we'll also include, you can be included in a presentation, you'll be included in a podcast with others talking about a certain topic. So there are ways, depending on what the package you want to put together, can go all the way up for a half day for $1,250, but you'll get a lot of coverage and action that will be focused on your brand. Any questions about that? Let's go to the next one. So this is a full day inside the pavilion. So you're a full day at the table. You don't have to worry about what time to get in and out. You're just there for the full day. You get a bigger table. You can do more in that space, and you get a larger focus on you through the media work, through the demonstration, bigger signage. And we will also do a short podcast for you, like a 10-minute podcast for you to talk about your brand, which we'll put on the Northern California meat platform that we have, the sales platform that we created through the project that we all did together on the north part of the state. We'll place it there, but we'll also give you the file for your own website or to use in your own social media. So you'll get that additional piece that can be recorded before or after the event, or we could take a snippet from a podcast that you're in during the event, but we think that would be a little less effective because we want this to focus on you for that 10 minutes. Any questions?
There's a question in the chat. Do the ranchers get to pick the chef?
They can. The chef, it depends. So some chefs charge $15,000 to $25,000 to show up. We're not going to be able to pay for that. So if you want a $15,000 or $25,000 chef to come in and cook with you, that would be on you, and we would have to figure out the package. So there's some flexibility around the packages, obviously. But if you have one that you want to work with, let's talk about it.
And I just wanted to bring this up as well. If you're interested in being part of the regenerative location, but not specifically the booth, you can sign up with Visit Sacramento directly, but you would have to do your own work, own registration, etc. And then we would discuss your involvement if you're curious to be involved with the demo kitchen or the presentation and stage space, because that is just the booth area. But they do have 10 by 10 booths within the event space broadly as well.
Yeah. So if you don't want to be in the pavilion, that's right. You can do this all yourself. We just won't do the registration for you, which, is paperwork and contracting and all that stuff you'd have to do. So, yeah. Anything else? Any next steps or next slides?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's it. We're kind of excited about this. We are going to spend a lot of hours the next 3 months on this project. We'd like to have all of the participants signed up by August 15th, because we want to do some preparatory calls with people before, have some group calls to talk about what materials you should bring, work with people on their pitches, things like that. If they're interested. So yeah, that's the story. So Pelayo, have you heard anything about whether you guys want to co-sponsor with us?
Not yet. We're waiting for National to approve.
Okay.
We're
They
set.
saw that they got the package though, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good.
Michael, how do we advertise this to our rancher networks? Do you guys have any materials that we can share with them? A flyer or something?
Yeah, we can
make
this a PDF that you could share with them.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be
That'd
great.
be useful.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will make this a PDF. Doris will get it out. Doris, when did you say we're gonna send everything out?
Well, I'll be sending out a newsletter with this recording here and the deck, and then I can also add a PDF version. And I think it's going to be early next week because we have a call with Visit Sacramento on the 3rd.
Yeah, we want to cement everything before we send it out in case they make big changes. I don't think they will at this point, but we need to make sure that their early quotes to us for what our investment's going to be are accurate because our pricing is based on that.
Mhm.
So that's early next week. I know it's a delay. That's Tuesday of next week because Monday Doris is not in. So Tuesday, it'll be on Tuesday next week. Is that okay, Palayo?
Yes.
Great.
That,
And there's a question in the chat. Is this an opportunity to just attend and learn?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a free event.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to make any investment, you just want to come, God, we hope you come, and we hope you come to the Meat Pavilion and hang out. And I know, Regina, you were thinking about bringing some students down, and it's a free event. So
I was thinking about, I have some extraordinary culinary career technical education high school teams. And one of them has a teacher who was a former chef. And so combining, cooking beef and then advancing their student leadership and then advancing like some of our environmental stewardship projects that we have here in Siskiyou County. It's a nice way to kind of wrap many things that we're working on here countywide, and then also with our North State Together career technical education plan. So I think it's an intriguing opportunity.
okay, good. Let's get on the phone at your convenience, maybe next week, and talk about what we might do, like give you a table or something, and then get some of the, maybe we do a thing where the kids do some cooking. That could be actually interesting for the audience. If you have a chef leader with them and they take, let's say, one of your beef, one of your, I think your belted Galways.
Mhm.
And if I don't know, do you have any hides you could bring?
I don't, not of any belted Galways, no.
That's too bad because I love them. But you could bring pictures, I know. So anyway, it'd be kind of fun to do that. Have a cooking demo with some kids.
Yeah, I have some teams here in the county that have catered events for me, and so they know how to cook on the road and whatever. And it'd be a lot more fun for students and a high school chef to do it rather than another boring adult. No offense, but
Yeah. Good. That sounds fun. We can talk.
Michael, as far as potential co-sponsors, have you guys reached out to a Good Meat Project?
We haven't actually yet, but they're on the list. Good Meat would be great. Yeah, Good Meat. And by the way, it doesn't have to just be meat. We will reach out to Good Meat. We did talk about them. We just haven't done it yet because we were all gone last week. But and all this information has just been coming in. So they are on the list. We will reach out. Some of you might know Range Revolution. Kate Havstead Cassad. She grew up actually in West Sonoma County, but lives on a ranch, is a cattle rancher and farmer up in southeast Oregon. And she makes the most beautiful purses she buys from the guys, the other half processing the hides, and she does the most beautiful purses. She does beautiful hats. She makes all this incredible stuff. We're talking to her about coming because we think that those kind of products are also very interesting for people that come out of this world. And so we're talking to the people that do cast iron pans to come and be part of the pavilion. We're reaching out to spice companies. We're reaching out to everybody, man.
Pet food companies.
Pet food companies. We want to have a lot of stuff there that shows that this emerging world has legs and has products. And so, yeah. Yeah, tallow, skin care, candles, soaps, all kind of stuff. By the way, next year you have to come, Kathy, to Old Salt.
I would love to. Except it sounded like it was pretty damn cold.
It was wet and cold, but it was, but actually
feel great.
we were inside of a tent. So it was a big tent, like a huge teepee, and we stayed dry.
But yeah, it was cold, but people were there. People showed up.
Yeah,
there were
There was a
fires
ton of people
everywhere.
there.
Yeah.
look busy, and I look forward to listening to the podcast.
Yeah, we did a good one with your boss. Yeah, that was good.
That's what I hear.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, any other questions? Anybody interested in attending? Anybody interested in being a vendor? Anybody interested in being a sponsor? It's a small crowd, I know, but
Already booked a hotel.
all right. And you are already sponsoring. Palau, you guys might be sponsoring. That'd be great.
Yeah,
And
I
know
also
you're
wanted
gonna-
to,
What? Go ahead.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I just wanted to, just echo like this is a special event that y'all are putting together. I also wanted to know, what are the steps if we wanted to like brainstorm on like a panel or like a speaking opportunity on that stage that you've been talking about.
Yeah. So as soon as we hear what you want to do in terms of participation, we will set up a meeting and we will have that conversation. Yeah.
You can reach out to Doris.
Yeah. Just reach out to Doris, and yeah, we'd love to brainstorm with you on that. Particularly after what I saw you guys did at Bobcat. That was great.
Exactly. I want to bring something like that to the stage.
Yeah. That would be great. So we have Regina's, we're going to follow up. Palaio, we're going to have a follow-up. Obviously, we will with Kathy because they've already signed up. Tim, can you think about anything? Do you think you could get one of your university chefs to come, like Santana?
Well, yeah, UC Davis Health and UC Davis are hosting, and I put in the chat our GCLC project, CAFs. I've been talking with Paul, myself, and Hel Peterson from F3 are going to host, and we're looking at a 40 by 40 pavilion. So we've met with them, and we're getting kind of examples of what they put together for you to understand it, for small producers and value add. And for the Regional Food Business Center, it might include like our Apache beef from Arizona because it's multi-state. So we asked if we could be in proximity so that there would be a nice connection.
We want you right next to us. You got to be next to us.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So Michael, we'll be definitely following up with you on that too.
Great. Great. Okay. Fantastic.
But thank you for all you're doing putting this together. I think you gave them a framework for talking to other entities to start thinking about it more too.
Good.
So Rock is rocking it.
Good. Good. Well, that's what we try to do. So that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
So Thomas, did you get what you needed? Oh, maybe you're not on anymore. Rick, did you get what you needed?
Yeah, definitely. Just interested in hearing what's going on. So thank you.
Yeah. Do you think you'll make it?
I plan on it. Yes.
Fantastic. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Yeah, thank you for calling me out. I did get what I needed. That's very interesting. Going between Wairika and Humboldt County twice a month right now, getting beef moved. So hopefully it lines up on schedules. But thank you.
Okay. That would be great because we'd love to have you down there.
Would love to be there.
Okay. So we'll follow up with an email. Okay. Any other questions or thoughts? Concerns? Okay. Nice to see y'all.
Great to see you.
Great to see you guys.
Thanks for being here.
See you all.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.